Early morning walk at the Muscadine Vineyard to see the progress of the pre-blooms. Looks like we got baby fruits already. So let's start with the youngest row, which is female row, Sugargate, Summit, and Janet. So Sugargate, they're known for not giving you any fruit. All right, we see some pre-blooms, but man, there's not a whole lot of them. All right, and I think the timing of pollination is an issue also. I mean, we have plenty of pollinators, but some of these pre-blooms, they're not even close to opening. There's some that are open right there, but we'll see. This is they were planted last year, so Sugargate. There's quite a few right here, but it might look like it's a lot, but compared to the other ones that I'll show you over there, it's like there's hardly any on these guys. All right, so this is this is still Sugargate. This is even less than the other one. All right, we have space, so you know they never recommend this for if you're a backyard grower, because if this is your only one and another pollinator, you're not going to get a whole lot of grapes. So there's some right there. But if you have space and you can experiment, you have other ways to get your Muscadines. Yeah, why not? This one is Summit, quite vigorous. Not a whole lot of, this is these are all planted last year, so there's not a whole lot, but we'll be able to at least sample it. Janet's even worse because it's in the shade right here. There's some. So Janet and another Janet. This one right here. There we go. That's a little bit. There's the least amount of Muscadine I've seen, and these things are still kind of growing nonstop. So vine maintenance never stops. You don't want this thing kind of choking the main trunk. So you don't want to wait till pruning to do this, because there's still plenty of growth this season. So you kind of just look for this kind of things. So for the laterals, good luck. It's hard to find, especially once the leaves are out, and it's just too hard. All right, so this is the Polk row, planted last year also. It's kind of weird. I might plant another one here because it's like space them out like Eisen recommendation, 20 foot per vine. But I might add one of my backups here. Let's put it in there. Probably a Summit, because I have an extra Summit. All right, so let's take a look at Polk. Quite productive, I think. Lots of pre-blooms. This is self-fertile, so it'll pollinate itself, so we don't have to worry about missing window like the females with pollination. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this one because it's a shorter row instead of 6, because I needed space to run the mule in front of the treehouse. And there's a lot of this killer. I might clear those later because I could still see them. I'll choke the laterals. Okay, so Polk. Lots of pre-blooms. And you can tell self-fertile, it's like a huge cluster of pre-blooms. They'll have both male and female in there. There's some that are opening already. There you go. So polk. I would say the vigor, yeah, it's there, but it's not like the other ones. It's not very vigorous yet. But it's not bad for a first year, second year in ground, planted last year. I never get that right, like whenever, how you should count the years. If you plant them last year, so it'll be their first year in ground. But then again, these are 2-year-old vines already, bare root when purchased. These are all purchased from Ison's. Ison's nursery. All right, so lots of pre-blooms. All right, so this one's right here is the late fry, all self-fertile. This row, purchased this from Bob Will's nursery. They're opening up. Self-fertile also. Look at the cluster. All right, so this one, it's not doing too well. There's something with the leaves that's, but same thing last year, it didn't fruited, so I don't really, and it didn't spread. And the whole point of planting muscadine is you don't do anything to them. No spraying. And if your vines are doing well, like this one's, no need for fertilizer also. But you might need that fertilizer for supplement boost when it comes to production. So if you want good yield, you might need to. So there are some organic preference right there, but it's just slow release. And you have such a small window. So synthetic, while they're developing, like this one's right here. So, all right, there's opening up. So late fry, very vigorous and very high yield. There's baby grapes already. There they are. Okay, so it's a bronze, and you can tell a bronze from a purple is that the tendrils and the leaves, they're green like this. No hint of darkness or purple tint. All right, so so if you bought, let's say, a known purple like a Noble, right? That's a purple, and you bought your vine and it's like this, the tendrils like this, then it's a mislabel when you're getting a bronze. Basically, you don't know what you got. Okay, so I'll show you here. This is polk. This is a bronze. You can tell the tendril and the actual vine itself, it's showing a lot of purple tint. Oh, let me focus on it. Let me go right over here. There you go. You see it? There's like a purple tint color to it. Okay, so it's a bronze. You don't know what it is. If you're just shopping based on color, you don't know what variety, but at least you're getting a bronze, and you're getting a purple. All right. Did I keep saying bronze tint? No, I meant purple tint. So you see a purple tint if it's purple or black or red, like a Ruby Crisp. Okay, right there. And then if it's a bronze, you get green, like this one. No purple tint. All right. How can you tell if it's self-fertile? You need to know the pistil opening and male and female, but one quick way is just a huge amount of flower pre-blooms for self-fertile. Females won't have this much because they only have the female part. So self-fertile are self-pollinating. They also will pollinate the female. Okay. If you ever see a label of on stores where it says male, that is incorrect. There are no male muscadines for sale on the big box, at least on the big box, because you'll never get fruit from a male. What they really meant, it's a perfect flower, self-fertile, a pollinator. It's a self-pollinating muscadine that can also pollinate female, but it's not a male because it is both. Okay, but they sometimes label them male. So if someone is really selling you a true male vine from the wild, then yeah, it will pollinate your female, but you'll never get fruit. Self-fertile is the one you want to use as a pollinator because it will fruit. All right, late fry. There it is. And we're gonna get a lot of, went all the way here. Nope, I gotta start trimming this here so it stops the growth. At least it'll stunt it for a bit. Should have paid more attention here. I got too busy working on the Paw Paws and the Jujubes. So I should have trimmed that here so it doesn't go over there, but Muscadines are so vigorous, they go nuts. Just like the vines that you're trying to kill at your property. Man, you keep killing them, they keep coming back. And Muscadines are very resilient and vigorous. Some of them are. Okay, so this one is the first row I ever planted right here. So this is kind of like a mixed bag of things. Let's take a look. So these are Darlenes right here. There's 2 Darlenes. This is also stingy like Sugargate, but I do get decent amount of Darlene. So again, that statement, there's some baby grapes there, maybe, you know, based on location. So another known that's kind of stingy is Black Beauty, but in my area where I plant them, man, I get lots of Black Beauty. Not stingy at all. And Darlene, not as productive as the other ones, but it's not like I don't get any. You know, there's plenty to sample and eat. All right, so as you can see here, there's not a lot of pre-blooms, but most of these things, it hold on to its fruit. So, all right, it's another Darlene. I mean, there's pre-blooms, and these are from Ison's nursery. I start buying Bottom's nursery probably last year because someone recommended them, and their root system, their root structures, I would have to agree, a lot superior than what I get from Ison's. But look at what Ison's vines look like after you take care of them. I mean, either way, it's, you know, it works. So Darlene has plenty of pre-blooms. So pre-blooms, until they're pollinated, you're counting eggs, not chicks. All right, so let's go back here. So that's Carlos. Just want to check if the nest is still here. All right, oh yeah, there's a nest. Let's see. Oh yeah, there's eggs. They're probably pissed that I'm here. And you wouldn't want a fork to notice that there's eggs. Hey, fork, move along, let's go. Okay, Black Beauty. That's lots of blooms on Black Beauty, opening up too. So in my area, Black Beauty is very productive. Like very, very productive. But we have folks in our group, the Muscadine group, and at their area, they just don't, Black Beauty doesn't like their soil or whatever. They just don't produce there. So they usually just cut them loose, replace them with something, you know, because there's no point, unless you have land like me, like I have space. So if it produces whatever, it's fine, I keep it. All right, so this is Jumbo. The reason why I have Jumbo here, because when I just started with Muscadine, I got excited. I just get whatever. Not a lot of flavor on the Jumbo. It's sweet. It's not even Jumbo compared to the other ones. I mean, it's an old cultivar, but it's quite productive right here. So we always, you know, hope the raccoons find this first. Not the Black Beauty though. So another Black Beauty. Lots of free blooms. Very productive. On this side, pineapple. This is also self-fertile. It has a hint of pineapple. Slow, very low hint of pineapple. I can taste it. Some people can't. But self-fertile, bronze, as you can see, green, jumbo, purple hint. You see it? You can also see at the back of the leaves sometimes that it's a little purple, but definitely the vine itself has purple tint. Bronze, green. There you go. All right, very productive. Noble. This is the jellying and wine. This is the wine, black wine. I mean red wine standard for Muscadine. You know, I mean of course you can always make wine on any Muscadine, but this is superior color on that red. Okay, so this is a Noble. It's purple or black, hence the vine being black. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, it's another pineapple, bronze, self-fertile. So I have back to back. So when I was first buying, man, I just should have done more research, but our friends, they love pineapple Muscadine. They go here, pick them worse than raccoons. Okay. And here's another Black Beauty. And this guy is loaded, always. Black Beauty. Whatever this area right here, this row, man, this is Black Beauty row. This is from Ison's nursery. There's the pineapple. This is Noble, bronze tint, self-fertile. Lots of open ones right there. Look at a huge cluster of pre-blooms right there. This one is Southland, very small, very strong Muscadine flavor. This is one of my wife's favorites. She loves the, just for fresh eating. They recommend this for processing like jelly and jam, but if you let it ripe, man, it tastes pretty good. It's just small berries though, but tons. Oh, look at this, it's crazy. All right, look how vigorous it is also. This is my very first Muscadine, so this is a special Muscadine. Very first one I bought from Hooten. Someone ordered it, special order, didn't pick up. And I asked the person handling this thing, and she said, that's a Muscadine. I go, what is that? And then it all started from there. There's a treehouse. Southland. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows now. Original row. This used to be just this row. Hey, not so. All right, so then we started adding 4 more, so hence 9 rows here, and there's another row near the house, so we have 10 rows of Muscadine. And counting all the Muscadines all over the place, it's like 60 plus. So Noble right here got baby grapes already, I think, because this one pre-bloom first. There's got to be some in here where we could actually see baby Muscadines. Yeah, there's right there, tiny. Noble, wine, jelly, jam. Again, purple, standard for. And this is May 2023, by the way. There's slightly bigger baby Muscadines right there that got pollinated already. All right, so red wine standard. Another Noble. Because I'm thinking I'm gonna make wine, and then I go like, there's so many other things to do. We'll make wine in the future. Probably this year. I got a lot of Muscadines in the freezer. So, all right, this one is Cowart. Man, I love the taste of Cowart. One of my didn't have a lot of fruit on its second year last year, but it's more pre-blooms this year, so I'm kind of excited. I love fresh eating. I like the flavor of Cowart, and that's what you'll figure out with your own journey in Muscadine. It's basically it's personal preference. You know, your favorite Muscadine of all time is someone's worst tasting Muscadine of all time. So that's Cowart. This one is unknown, I think. What is this one? So this is Let me see. Oh, no, this is, yeah, this is a mislabeled Ison. So it's unknown bronze. So I got this from Ison's, and I bought an Ison vine and I got a bronze. So it was a mislabel. Kind of tastes like late fry, or it could be a fry. All right, looking at the cluster size. So I think it's a fry, but it's currently labeled as Ison there so that I would know this is an unknown mislabeled, because that Ison's is a purple Muscadine and this one is a bronze, hence the green. Tendril, leaves, vine. So that is currently unknown. All right, and this one here is an Ison's. No, Supreme. This one is Supreme, and I did prune this heavily. Greg Ison recommend 2 hands, but it's two hand kind of distant, 2 palm distance, but it's kind of vigorous on its end too. It's starting to have one in there, because if you let this overcropped, it might not survive the winter, and you'll have a dead vine the following year. So yeah, so I basically, and these are new shoots right here, all this fruiting spurs. These are all new. So come pruning time next year, I will heavily prune this, more than what Greg Ison's recommend, because I just don't want, I don't need all the I have plenty of Muscadine, so I want this thing not to die. So, and I might thin out the fruits also. Here, yeah, I killed the Muscadine, mowed it, so now I planted a whole. So this used to be a Supreme, so be careful when you're mowing. So I bought this from, I think, Ison's, because the Hall, recommended by Kenny from Sunny Orchard. Excited to taste it. I don't know if it'll give me one single Muscadine this year, but got one right there. It's all right. And this one right here, this is Supreme. Again, I heavily pruned this one. Look at the distance between, and then it's starting to shoot new stuff right there. But yeah, it looks kind of sparse like that because it's heavily pruned. Didn't look as, compared to those guys. Let's see the amount of vigor. It's quite vigorous, but it's very spaced out. I don't want it to die. So all right, so this one is an unknown. So I went to Winsboro Muscadine farm, Vineyard, and they were selling one of their, I don't know what it, most likely Carlos, because it is an unknown. And not so, stop messing with the bird. That's the mother of the, or the parent of that nest, trying to make sure Natsu doesn't get close to the nest. Yeah, kind of tastes like Carlos. So yeah, it's still labeled unknown, but very vigorous. Look at it, it went crazy. Look at the pre-blooms. All right, so this one is an Ison, purple, and comparing to the other Ison up front, kind of tastes the same. So I would say this is a true Ison. Very similar to the correctly labeled Ison that I bought from Ison, but this is from Atwood, so I always have caution. It's an Atwood Ison purchase. At Atwood, they give you mystery fruit. They're always mislabeled, but it kind of tastes the same, and it has the same kind of size. So it's not noble for sure. So I'm kind of confident that it's an Ison. All right, right here, this is Supreme. Also heavily pruned. Look at the spacing. Tendril killer. All right. And yeah, purple black. This is a very huge female purple or black muscadine. See the purple tint. All right, so this is Supreme. So this is supposed to be on all Supreme row, and then of course the other ones didn't make. It got replaced by all those mislabeled stuff. All right, pre-bloom. This one has that kind of curly disease as the late fry up there, so it's kind of struggling to even make it 20 foot. So, but it's pretty healthy on that side, and I don't do anything to them, so they just have to make it. All right, Supreme. Pre-blooms are opening. They're blooming, so they're blooms now, some of them. Heavily pruned, spaced. All right, so this one here is the late fry from Bob Wells, and they're doing well. And the wind, when they get older, wind easily knock off some of the fruiting vines. Self-fertile bronze, hence the green. All right, look at the clusters. This is very productive. So this is my these two are the first late fries that I purchased because I saw Kenny from Sunny Orchard's video. Man, those things were massive and he really likes them, and I basically just, okay, I gotta have those. So I bought 2 vines first, and then went here and bought 2 lanes from Bob Wells. And these are late fry, cross-referencing them from the other late fry from Ison's. These are supposed to be lane, but look, lane is purple. This is not. They're bronze, so they're mislabeled lane, but they're all late fry. The exact same fruit as those 2. And they taste exactly the same as the late fry from Ison's nursery. So this 4 muscadines here, they're supposed to be 2 late fry and 2 lanes. They're all late fry. So I didn't get any lane, and lane is a purple black early ripening muscadine. So I was hoping it will be the first muscadine, and so I don't know, in the future if I add more, probably add lane and more Ruby Crisp, which I have up front. All right, so late fry. Anyway, Ison, another Ison. If you're gonna get one muscadine, that's good for pretty much everything, fresh eating, processing. I always recommend Ison. Vigorous, medium size grape. The taste is I like it, but it's not as good as the other ones, but you know, it's quite resilient, I would say. Hard to kill. Like Supreme, it's easy to kill. All right, so, but there's other varieties that you can, you know, other than Ison, I would, you know, Polk or even Ruby Crisp if you only have one. So it's a lot of choice. Another one I killed, so it got replaced by a Hall. And usually you train it, one trunk, cut it right here, and it'll go on both sides. I don't do that. I usually have 2 or 1 split, because in case that thing gets damaged by a fallen branch, or you know, you yank it while pruning, you have a backup so you don't start over. That's a whole kind of reasoning for that, but you know, that's just me. A lot of people follow the videos for Grey Ison where it goes up, they cut it, but that's, you know, that's, of course you can do that. Like this one right there, it splits in there, so I didn't end up cutting it while I was training this jumbo. And the reason why there's jumbo here, this is the end. This is where the wildlife, this sacrificial muscadine. All right, it's quite productive. It's in the shade. It still gets plenty of muscadine. Jumbo. And this is Black Fry, purple, female. Eisen's recommendation is you should have a pollinator for every 50 feet of female. But here, man, I got them all over the place, so it's not a concern. But if you are, let's say you got 5 Muscadines, you want to put the middle one as your pollinator. If you're having 4 females and 1 self-fertile, make sure that's in the center, so your maximum location for pollination. Okay, so black fry right here, lots of pre-blooms. Okay, and then black fry again, it's a purple, hence a purple tint. This is a Carlos green tint, self-fertile. This is the white wine standard for Muscadines. So if you're going to make a white wine, it's Carlos. Red wine, it's Noble. But you can make any Muscadine grape into wine. It's just that this is what they recommend. I'm not a winemaker, so I believe them. And I've read a couple of articles. Muscadine Carlos wine wins so many awards. So, all right, Carlos. So I have 1, 2, 3 Carlos in this vineyard. They hate Carlos for fresh eating. A lot of people do, and a lot of people love it. This is a black fry, by the way. So the Carlos, so my understanding is that it might not be good for fresh eating. So we don't eat, on our first year that we have harvest, we didn't eat Carlos. We left it in we left the fruit hanging. Here's our last Carlos right here. And so of course it didn't get touched. The wildlife didn't know we have this one yet, so they were safe. But what happened is that there was nothing else to eat, and we still have Carlos. And then when we tried them, they're very ripe. Man, they were so good. So Carlos, if you let it ripe, in my opinion, it tastes pretty good. It's sweet. It has a lot of muscadine flavor to it. So very productive. There's Carlos, and that completes this vineyard's kind of tour. Hey, not so. Hey, Fork. So my cats, they're like dogs. They just follow you around, and they're horsing around. That's a treehouse right there, hence the Treehouse Farm and Vineyard channel. Hey, girl. There's a girl. All right, so that's cloudy morning update on the vineyard. This is May. I like making these videos so that I can watch them like during winter time when everything is dead, and and you don't remember quite well how the vineyard is doing around this time of the year, and these videos are reference to that. So all right, so just one quick sweep here, and I'll make another video also. So we planted a bunch of planted 28 Jujubes, so there'll be Jujubes on this area, and to the left will be the Muscadines. All right, there it is. I'll go up the tree house so that we could see from the top, and the cats following. Let's go up here. All right, so there's the vineyard from the treehouse view. All right, it's always nice here in the morning, even when it's super sunny and hot. If you're early, you get a cool weather and you get a slight breeze. And of course, the treehouse is the ultimate cat house, and the cats are just everywhere here now. All right, thank you for watching. I know it's a long video, but it's a tour of the vineyard around May when the pre-blooms are opening up and we start seeing baby Muscadine. So I'll have another update video around probably last week of June to see the progress of all the pre-blooms, what they look like around that time, and then another update every month. And then I'll go individually on the vines, give you a review and look of each variety. We have 24 plus, if I'm not mistaken, different varieties here. So I didn't, you know, I just went shopping different ones. I just want to sample them. All right, it's not like you can go on a lot of places here in Texas where you could sample what muscadines taste like, different varieties. I mean, in Georgia, I'm sure you can just go to the seminars and whatnot, but here, no chance of that one. All right, so blackberries in here in the back, and muscadines, jujubes on that side. There will be Paw Paws here, and persimmon orchard also. Gotta plant those. All right, thank you for watching.